And we're live. Welcome back to the DJ Life podcast.
You're so good at that.
Do you have the
Waka. Bow. There it is. That's my input.
moments before I said, "Are you doing the intro?" I know the intro. He's like, I know the intro. I wanted to see if he at least had the air horns in him tonight. But anyways, welcome back to the DJ Life podcast. As always, we got myself, Rick. We got the dude with glasses, Eric, over there with the fancy glasses. If you listened to last time, and tonight's guest, we have Cooper Brown.
What's up, guys? What's up? Good to see you.
Hey, Cooper.
I'm glad we're chatting tonight.
Cooper was the most prepared podcast guest we've ever experienced. Ran into Cooper at DJC. Shout out, by the way. DJC was great.
Yeah.
You know, the funny part, before he came up to us and like had all these topics, we literally were like, the night before, we're like, there's a lot of good people here. We should write these people down for the podcast. We're like, we should get Cooper. We list off a bunch of names, and then literally like the last day, Cooper's like, look at all these topics I have to talk about. We're like, whoa.
It was legit, super legit. DJC was filled with some just serious talent. Smart people,
good thoughts, great ideas,
good vibes only. That's all
Absolutely.
I do.
That's a t-shirt on shopdjlife.com.
Yeah, shout out. But all right, anyways, so Cooper Brown. Who is Cooper Brown? Where are you from?
Yeah, so I'm from Ventura County, California. So I grew up in Southern California. I now live in Lehi, Utah, which is about 30 minutes south of Salt Lake City.
Yep.
And been DJing for 13 years.
If you've ever been to one of these DJ conventions, you'll meet a handful of people from Utah, and I swear they're all like related. Not literally, but they are all like so close knit.
Yeah.
Maybe not that Parker guy. Parker seems like he's different. He's not like because he's like an EDM person or something. Super cool dude. But other than him, all you got. Anyways, whatever.
Yeah, everyone's real tight. We have a really cool community, and we all live like pretty close to each other because like 80% of the population lives on what's called the Wasatch Front, and so like a majority of the people here in Utah live within an hour and a half of Salt Lake, and so we're all pretty close.
Yeah. Shit, we drive. We cover like a 5-hour radius here, so that's awesome to have it an hour and a half complete, right to left. That's what's up. You're lucky.
Yep.
Cool. All right. So tell us about your company, though. Single op, multi op. What are you? I know what you are, but the world doesn't.
So
let's go.
Yeah. So you can call me a multi op, but honestly, I run my business as a single op. About 2 years ago, I had a DJ approach me who I met in Arkansas because I did an internship out at the Walmart headquarters in Bentonville, and I met him there. And he moved to Utah, and we started chatting 2 years ago. And I liked his vibe, liked his style. His name's Chase, and so I brought him on as my DJ. And the reason why I did that is because I was moving into the high-end luxury market with a very premium price. And I had all of these people reaching out to me who had average budgets. And I was just letting them go and losing that income. And so it worked perfect to have Chase serve that clientele. And then I serve the high-end luxury clientele. And so, yes, we are a multi-op. Honestly, if you look at my website, you're going to only see one photo of Chase and his name once. Everything else is me. My Instagram is all me.
That's okay. Yeah.
And that's how I operate. So I have no interest in really becoming a bigger multi-op because I also own a production company. And that is kind of what I put my focus into when it comes to scaling, hiring people, because that has the ability to generate a lot more revenue than bringing on more DJs.
Yeah. What happens if you get a bunch of more leads with low budgets, though? Why not?
It's true.
I mean, I hear what you're saying because obviously you just said literally why, but leaving money on the table, if you didn't do it once, why do it now?
That's a good question. I feel like if I found the right DJ who I totally trusted, like Chase literally, between our booking manager and Chase, like leads come in and people book and links are sent, Vibo accounts are made, payments are made, and I'm not even involved at all. So we now have a good process down. And so I feel like if I found the right DJ and he or she like walked into my life, I would probably bring them on. But I'm not actively searching for someone.
Yeah. It's funny. Like, I feel like the majority of the DJs that work for me that truly worked out did kind of just walk in. You know, it like just kind of just the cards fell correctly or whatever the say. You know what I mean? Any that I was trying to
Forcefully obtain.
Exactly. Forcefully obtain never worked out. Wound up being a total money pit and just, fucked off after however long.
It's probably just from they didn't have interest. They saw it as an opportunity to be a DJ, make money, not an opportunity to grow.
Some were already DJs even, and I guess that actually may have even been worse.
It could have been part of the problem. You never know.
Yeah, DJs that are stuck in their ways, kind of not so what's up. Unless they're good, but typically they're not. But whatever. Okay, well that's great. Booking manager.
That was an interesting.
And that's not you. That's not him
either. Is it
either.
A part-time
it's a
person
third
or
employee.
Yeah. So this is a part-time person. Her name is Emily. She lives in Arizona, and she's a friend of my wife's from college. And like a year and a half ago, I feel like we all think we're great business owners because we do everything. Like we do everything for our business.
Yeah,
but what I've learned is that the best business owners are the ones who are able to scale by hiring other people. So a year and a half ago, we hired her part-time, like 10 to 20 hours a week. And she basically manages our CRM. So we use Tave, and she handles all the leads. And basically when a lead comes in, I have a list of all the venues in Utah, and we put them in 3 tiers. We put them in a low tier, mid tier, and high tier. So a low tier are like the venues that are pretty cheap, that are going to be likely attracting those lower budget clients. And then we have the mid tier, which are obviously mid tier, and the high end tier is like the Park City, the Montage, Stein Eriksen. These are the weddings that like they're spending $100,000 likely, right? And so what she does is if it's a low tier wedding, she doesn't even look if I'm available. She automatically gives it to Chase if he's available. If it's a mid-tier wedding, then she basically decides, is this a high-end couple? If so, then she intros me, and then she sends my Calendly link for a meeting. And then if it's a high-end or a high-tier venue, she doesn't even look at Chase. Even if Chase is available, she only introduces me, not because I don't think Chase is talented. He is talented, but I know people at that level, those luxury weddings are looking for next level talent, and Chase is working towards that level, but he's not there yet. And so that's how she manages that. And it works super well because I just get meetings on my calendar and notifications from Calendly, and it's all because she did it. And then she sends the quotes, she creates the Vibo links, she follows up with people on payments. We have so many things automated. Just like you guys, Rick, I remember when I looked at you guys as like uplighting, you had like so many automated emails sending to me. I'm very similar. I've got so many things automated.
That's actually how I have your contact in my phone. I literally just searched for your contact and I was like, it said Cooper Brown uplighting inquiry. And I was like, oh, cool. You get inquired for uplighting at some point.
So I'm on this. I would say I'm on a similar level to you guys when it comes to automation. And Emily's been a lifesaver. Like you can hire overseas people to be your booking manager, but also you can find super talented people who are stay-at-home moms who would love a flexible job where they can work an hour in the morning, 2 hours in the afternoon, and at midnight when their baby's up crying. It's been really, really good for Emily and I.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, delegation. It's after you get to a certain point, it's the only way to continue.
It's the only way to grow.
Yeah,
you can only do so much.
Yeah,
it's funny. That's one of the actual things I wrote down for. Like I write down like 4 or 5 things I want to do every year. Next year is the year. One of the items for next year is delegation, like heavy delegation.
Yeah, it's a tough pill to swallow in some cases, though.
It is,
especially if you think, like you said, you said, Cooper, you think you're a good business owner because of XYZ, like you do everything kind of thing, and I feel like I'm good because I treat emails like text messages. Like I will respond to your email in literally 1 single minute. You know what I mean? Like immediately. Yeah. And the only way to delegate that, I require that type of response time.
And that's hard.
And that's tough. You know what I mean? And so I'm not willing to delegate that, but that's like the biggest job that I have is dealing with emails still. And I hate that. I hate it. But it is what it is. That's on my list also, but I'm not really grinding out trying to sub that in still.
So how busy of a DJ are you, Cooper? How many events you doing a year?
Yeah, so I did 69 events this year. My prices start at $4,000. I just raised my
didn't even
prices
ask him
to about $5,000. Say what?
I said I didn't even ask him that. He just had to flex that number.
That's
No,
okay.
no,
Yeah.
I'm just sharing.
That's fine. Yeah.
And the reason why I share that is because 2-3 years ago, actually, honestly, a year and a half ago, I was charging $2,000, which I think is pretty average. And I went to the DJ Collective, and I was just inspired by these DJs who were charging 9, 10, 11, $12,000 for a night. And I was like, dang, like this is insane. And so last DJ Collective, I bumped my prices from like basically $2,000, $2,500 to 4,000. And then after this collective, I don't feel comfortable raising it like a ton more, but I went to $5,000 and it's working. People are booking, and Chase did about, I want to say 60 weddings as well this year. So between
Damn.
us, what's that math?
129.
29 weddings.
Yeah,
And then we also do photo booths. I do a ton of lighting. So my production company, the reason why that started is because I was doing tons of motion monograms and uplighting with DJing. And then I found that corporations wanted to hire me for lighting, but they didn't want to hire me to DJ. And so that's when I spun off a production company that focused on what I call creative lighting. And right now we actually have a gig going on at a college, and we're lighting up these two big basketball courts, and we're using 140 lights to light up the entire space and make it look and feel really dope. And so, yeah.
I was just telling Rick, I was like, my next step, once I kind of, the dust settles with all, I've got a lot of life changes happening, but would be to bring on someone whose full-time job was to figure out some sort of production add-ons. Because, we do a gazillion events, whatever, but we're bare bones. We can't offer too much because it's too difficult, so that would be the next person's full-time job, is to be like, oh, monograms. You think of all the add-ons, but shit like that. Obviously that's not even on the tier of what you just said. That's like a full-on production company, but that I feel like would be my next step. So that's cool. And also, the numbers on what you just said too, your solo career alone, it's $250 a year roughly. If you said $5,000, 69 events, 70 events, whatever. So that's a decent. That's not just like the bare minimum of 6 figures. That's like a good 6 figures, and then add on your. I'll say the bottom feeder, not literally, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
On the cheaper stuff plus your production company. So you're doing fucking great. I love that. So when I was brand new, right, the guy I kind of mentored under, it was very like, this is how you do it. If you don't do it this way,
Fuck you.
Basically fuck you. You're destined to fail because everyone's full of shit. Was his mindset, and his way was to book a lot of weddings at a lower price, blah blah blah. That's kind of what we do. And I went that way, and I've edited my own shit, but I'm not quite like him. I very much enjoy seeing like your shit. Very different from Rick's. Rick is a premium price in our area, though. Rick, plenty of income. You, plenty of income based on what you just said. Unless you're fucking lying, don't fucking lie to me. But and then I have my own way, and I make good money and whatnot. And it's just cool that there's so many different approaches.
There's a million ways to cut a cookie.
Exactly.
A million ways to do it.
Yeah. There's so
like
many different approaches, and if you can be open-minded, you can learn something from everyone. That's the cool thing.
I love that you threw out the term creative lighting, because I've been literally this weekend we had a corporate party for about 500, 600 people, and we're like pushing into the space of like the corporate field. And the one reason we clicked so well with this venue that we work with here a lot, Legacy Stables, is because and they were blown away because we did projector mapped snow falling down on the thing.
I saw that,
and the lighting and literally the head of their corporate office events and their VP walked in and were like, this is so cool. We're excited to work with you, because like they're so used to like the bare bones corporate
seeing
companies
the normal stuff
that just throw 16 blue uplights around the room and that's it. Like there's no other. and they don't change colors. They stay the same. I like that term because I was telling my fiance, I was like, I really think our niche is in the custom field to like customize the lighting that these guys are already using, but incorporating it into a theme and wrapping it around that in a way.
Yeah. And you know what's interesting? I see he's actually on right now. So the OG, the king of creative lighting when it comes to projection mapping and monograms and uplighting is Jeremy Mortorano, based out of Arizona. He owns Karma Event Productions. He's spoken at tons of DJ conferences. He's actually been one of my mentors for years. Like we talk almost weekly, and he's the one who's been so valuable to me in teaching me so much that I didn't have to make a ton of mistakes. Instead, we have this trust and this camaraderie and this friendship where he literally is taking me under his wings for the past 4 years. And I can call him literally whenever or text him whenever. And he gives me his opinion. He tells me how to do it, what to do, who to talk to. And so if people are trying to get into the creative lighting or AV or DJ world, find someone that you vibe really well with and like literally ask them, like, can you be a mentor for me? And that is one of the most invaluable things that I think most people don't ever think about, is finding someone who's in a place that they want to be in and then creating that relationship where they can be your mentor. And Jeremy's been that for me for when it comes to creative lighting, and it's honestly changed my life.
Yeah. Yeah. So we hung out early. We got lunch earlier, and I was saying, like, I hate starting a new business because of the
learning curve
and the mistakes you make. It's not even, maybe not mistakes, but like doing things the hard way. I'll just call it that, whatever that may be. I don't know the company, I don't know what that is, but like I added photo booths. Well, slowly but surely I've learned better methods the whole time, better ways. I should have spent my money. I spent too much over here and I should have spent more over here, etc. And if I had someone like that, I feel like 90% of that at least would have not happened, because you have someone in the position you want to be in, and you're like, how do you do this? And they tell you, and that's all there is to it. But I didn't fucking do that because I'm hard-headed.
So let me tell you guys, I love hearing mistakes that people have made. So let me tell you one. Let me tell you, one or two that happened recently. So earlier this year with my production company, we're doing this really big SKO, sales kickoff, for a really big tech company. And they wanted to use their clicker for their presentations. And so we were using vMix. We had 3 cameras. We were tying into their PTZ cameras. We're using Dante to basically pull audio from their network. And about halfway through the presentation, the person stopped using their clicker. And we were like, why are they not using the clicker to advance their slides? And the company never told us what was happening, but we could see it was happening. And then the CEO gets up to announce the employee of the month, which happens to be the IT manager who hired us. And he's supposed to say, and the person is, and then he's supposed to click it, and then it shows everyone. Well, he was told, we found out later, not to use the clicker because it wasn't working, because Charisma had screwed it up, which is my production company. So he gets up there and he says, and our employee of the month is, and he forgets the person's name. So he's up there for 5-10 seconds. And then all of a sudden my team and I are like, what the freak's going on? So we advance the slide for him. The person's face pops up, the name pops up. It was so awkward. Afterwards, we realized that this tech company thought that my company screwed the whole presentation up. And that's why the clicker wasn't working. What we learned from that, guys, is that they had their clicker where we were set up. They used a 15-foot USB extender, and they put their little tiny USB clicker on the end of that extender, and they basically propped it up on the edge of the stage. It fell off during the event. Yep. Like not the USB, but the cord just like popped on the ground. Guys, we lost a huge contract because they thought that was our fault, when in reality, it was their stupid little clicker. And so talking about making mistakes, Eric, something I learned from that huge mistake, that cost me a lot of money. I did not get that contract, is we now use what are called perfect cue clickers, which are literally $700 clickers. And that's what's used in the huge conferences. And we now only use that because I learned from this mistake to never trust a $50 clicker.
Right. Yeah.
That sucked. That
what's
experience
the difference? $650. Like the difference between 50 and 700 is a client for life, in that scenario,
like a freaking what would you say? A 5-figure client, I would imagine, easily.
Yes, yes, it was, Rick. It was, and a stupid clicker, guys. So I learned from that.
Lesson learned. And always collect everyone's address so you know where they fucking live. No, I'm just kidding. That was a joke.
If you're what you kind of,
who's talking shit?
It's funny because literally a lot of mistakes are not buying the best or the thing that you should be buying, and
yes,
a lot of times it, but you're like, we're getting by, we're fine. And I've learned that a few times with the stupid Christmas light business that we started. We were like, roofs aren't that steep. And we see all these like tools and shit that you can buy that are like thousands of dollars to like make it easy to walk up and down roofs and shit. We go to the first house, don't have any of them. It took us like fucking 4 hours to do what should have been an hour because we had to literally position the ladder every single spot on the damn roof.
Oh no!
Instantly went and bought a few things, not a lot, just a few things here and there. Because we thought the first time, just buy a harness. A harness is all you need. No, you don't. You need more than a harness. And then we got a few tools, and then we used those few tools, and we're like, we really need these other tools. And it just like we ended up having to buy it all. And if we just bought it up front, we would have saved a shitload of time.
Yes.
And looked a lot more professional when we did it.
Yep.
I had one with, I tried using wireless HDMI for a while.
Ooh. Yeah.
And that works when you're not involving audio. If you're just shooting like monograms to a couple TVs and it's like by your setup, it's fine. We had a corporate client and we tried to use it and it worked, but there was an audio delay out the ass. So we set the delay for it. And then when people came in, this was the longest we'd ever pushed it. We were like 50, 60 feet from the setup. TV started cutting in and out. Ended up literally, I sent people to Walmart, buy the longest HDMI cords you can get. And we ran HDMI cords and managed to pull it off. But
I've been there.
Fiber optic HDMI cords are your friends. Or STI. Or STI, the new thing that I've learned about.
Yeah, STI, HDMI to STI black magic converters, and you run those STIs
or Cat 6 or whatever you want.
Cat 6, yeah.
Man, I don't know fucking shit about what you guys are talking about. I don't know shit. I'm like sitting here just like looking at Rick like,
this is corporate production like 101 shit.
Yeah. Let me... when I'm listening to podcasts, I'm always just curious like what people are using. So let me just kind of share what I'm using.
Please do.
So I'm on a DDJ SX3 Pioneer, which was a staple like 5 years ago. The SRT 1000 took over. I finally got an SRT 1000 like 2 months ago. It's sitting right here in the corner of my bedroom. I've just been too busy to put it in my booth. I have the Max Design booth, the Infinity console.
The large one? Is it the XL?
No, the large. I fit everything, guys, in my 2002 Toyota Highlander. When it comes to DJing, I honestly keep things simple. I've got up lights from both lighting. In fact, here they are right here, lighting me up. Boom, right here.
Ooh.
You got the big boys.
Yeah, I've got 150 of them now. So
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, because of the production company, not because of DJing.
Yeah, right. That makes sense. Right.
Yeah. I bring like 24 with me when I DJ, but the production company has all the heavy cases. Those flight cases suck. Yeah. Those things break your back. I put these in light cases that you can hold like 8 in one arm, 8 in the other.
Soft bags.
The soft bags. Yeah, soft bags.
8 uplights in each bag too.
Well, yep, that's exactly what I do. Yeah.
Right.
I DJ on an HP, but I'm moving to an M1 MacBook here in the next couple of weeks.
Ugh.
So
God, you're not even a real DJ yet.
Sad.
Wow.
And that's why I mentioned that. I love that pushback.
No,
13 years.
I'm over here saying it's sad to see you go. I'm still dedicated to Windows.
Oh.
Well, that's because Rick's also not a real DJ. That's all.
It's very true.
No, Rick and I are both not real DJs.
Right. That's correct.
So Rick, you've got the HP Spectre with the gold trim, right?
I have like 5 of them, so yes.
Okay, so that's what I DJ on too. I remember watching one of your YouTube videos a while ago and be like, oh, like Rick copied me. That's
I'm DJing
great.
on a...
Not a fan. Don't like.
This one was bought in 2019, I believe. I believe I'm on a 2019 right now.
Yeah, dude, I've loved mine. I've gotten so many compliments with a gold trim. It looks so slick.
It's actually copper.
Copper, yeah, copper.
Yeah, it's not gold. People think it's gold. Well, it's funny because some people actually think it's a Mac. Like it's
But those people are dumb because they would know better. Because it's like there's this
well,
aura.
It was more when Apple got rid of the glowing Apple logo, which they're stupid for getting rid of it.
They are. I don't
but
like. I'm not,
people.
yes.
The line between Windows and Mac got blurred a little bit from the average consumer perspective.
Yeah, it's true.
Well,
but listen, Rick.
Well, congratulations on the advancement.
Thank you. Thank you. The only reason why I'm going over is I love texting on my computer and I love AirDrop. Those are honestly the only two reasons. So anyways, I'm moving on. I've had the EV50s guys for 4 years. I've never liked them. I've never liked my EV50s.
Really?
Oh, dude.
Discuss that with Nick Spinelli.
Hey, listen. They're beautiful and they're super simple, but I can't tell you how many weddings when I have 40 people on the dance floor. And yes, guys, my stage gaining is correct. I know how to do that. Yes, my speakers are spread out, guys, on both corners of the dance floor. And the back of the LCD screen on the back is saying limit. And I'm literally having to ride the volume to go up as high as I can and then back a little bit, right once I hit limit. And this doesn't happen like once a month. This happens at like more than half my weddings. Wow. And I see these guys DJing, on Instagram or Facebook, and they've got a huge dance floor with these EV50s. And I know for a fact that if you were to go look at the back of their speaker, it's saying limit.
Right.
Oh, yeah. It always is.
It's saying limit. And so anyways, I got the Evox 12s, game changer. Love those babies.
There you go. There you Beautiful. Go. Now you got some real speakers.
That's literally... That is so much nicer, though. You can't even, yes, they're both, what are they called? Column arrays?
They're both column arrays.
But the Evox 12s are nothing.
Can we just talk about how funny it's been? Those are
totally different ball game.
Can we just talk about how funny it's been in the speaker world in general? When did the Evolve 50s come out? 4 years ago?
Yeah, 4 years ago, huh?
4 years ago. It was the biggest trend. Everyone got them. And, literally over the last year, it's funny how many people have gone from the EV50s, and they're all getting Evox 12s.
Everyone is getting... 12s are coming back.
And it's not that they're coming back. It's just the prices actually came down, and it's now to a point where the price jump from them to them isn't considerably ridiculous, because the Evox 12s used to be a ridiculous price point.
Really?
I feel like there's still that. This is me personally.
They still
what are they?
are.
$3,000 a piece, 2,600 each.
It's around 3, isn't it?
I think it's around 2,600, 2,000. Huh?
26. Yeah, exactly. They used to be more like 4 or 5.
Wow. Okay.
It's came down considerably. And when they first came out price wise, everyone just went straight to the Evox 8s.
Yes.
Which are a little bit better than the Evolve 50s, just because you can get the horn up higher. But they're still neck and neck in the same boat there. But I think people have just realized that they're not designed to be DJ main speakers.
Yep. Yeah.
EV will never tell you that, but I'm pretty sure they are not designed to be. I mean, it's a 12-inch sub.
Well, yeah, I will say, this is my take on them. I love EV50s in the right application. When we do breakout rooms for AV, or we have a small event background music, EV50s all the way. Amazing. But when you're trying to dance with them...
Yeah. You can use them for corporate side fills and stuff.
Exactly. So, so my set's pretty simple, guys. I got uplights, I got monograms, a DJ booth, speakers, everything fits in my car. I have Asteras that I just bought a couple months ago for production. I never thought people would pay me more if I had Astera tubes for DJing, and so I'm not going to buy something that's not going to make me more money.
What do you use for lighting? For your DJ setup, what do you use for lighting?
I have an ADJ Dots T-Par if I'm not using uplighting, which is the T-bar in the back of me. But I use all my uplights for most of my weddings.
So you only use uplights for dance floor lighting and shit?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. So I will say if the walls are really far from the dance floor, I will use my T-Par system, because the lights won't reflect the color onto the dance floor. And so if it's too big, I'll bring both.
So that base rate you threw out of where you're charging now $5,000, what does that get a client?
Yeah, tell us about that package.
Good question. So they get me as their DJ and their event host. Mm-hmm. I call myself an event host, inspired by Elegant Music Group out of New Jersey or New York. They've been mentors to me as well for a while, and I just wanted to steer away from being a cheesy MC and be like, hey, I'm a professional event host who will lead and guide the evening forward in a tactful way.
Is that
Go ahead.
Is that
Yes.
EMG?
EMG, yeah.
The
All
dudes
good
we
music
sat
group.
down
That's who
with?
they
I
are.
love those
Yeah.
dudes.
Dude,
Yeah.
those dudes are baller. Like,
I think they are so smart, and we're not even homies. They have no idea who I am. I love those dudes. Okay,
Yeah.
They just speak the shit and know the shit.
they're true players. I'll just say, like in the DJ game, I heard. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I just want to talk good
Yeah.
about them for a second. As soon as I actually paid attention to the shit they say, because I missed them last DJC. I missed because they were talking about Vibo or something. No offense to Vibo, but I can't remember what I was doing. This year though, I was like, wait a second. You guys know what the deal. I don't know. I was just like, I'm sitting at your fireside chat.
Eric peaked up as soon as he literally saw the chart where they put their revenue growth over year, and he literally went, "Say what?"
Yeah, I mean, Jesus Christ, and they're marketing specialists and all sorts of shit. They're just they know what's up.
I know those guys really well. Again, mentors guys are everything, and Michael from that team has been a mentor of mine the past year as I've built my hybrid band. So I also have a hybrid band that's done really, really well, and he's the one who helped me and coached me into what to do and what not to do, and he's even helped me like interview like players in the sense that when people send me videos of them playing, I send them to him and he tells me if they're a legit sax player or not. And so he's been awesome. Those guys are freaking amazing. They're wired differently, and they work nonstop, and they've got more and more business ventures coming out. It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
But right back to your question. So, or maybe that was you, Eric.
Sorry,
me as a DJ and event host, 2 speakers, cocktail hour sound system, which is a Bose speaker. I really want to get those Everse speakers. And then it comes with a ceremony sound system. I have a really dope ceremony sound system, which always comes with me as well. I forgot to mention that. And it's basically 3 Sennheiser G4s, 2 lavs, 1 handheld, Behringer XR12 with an antenna combiner. I control it on my iPad. That thing is freaking awesome.
Do you have it
amazing.
all pre-wired and all that?
All
stuff?
pre-wired. It's small. I can literally like fit it like on my back.
What do you put it in?
And excuse me?
What do you put it in? Like pre-wired into what? Like
it's in a shallow gator case, and shallow is key because I wanted this thing to be small. It is small and it's freaking dope. So that's what it comes with, and then it comes with uplights. So I would say a pretty standard package of what people get for my base rate. I will say I do not lean heavily into equipment. Like people, when I'm on my sales calls I think are pretty unique, and we can talk about that too. I don't talk about equipment. I don't talk about equipment, guys. Until the very end, I say price. And just so you know, this price comes with ceremony sound system, cocktail, and even dance floor lighting.
So
other than those 6 seconds, I don't even mention equipment.
Yep.
Just a side question. What do you do when they say, well, I don't need ceremony?
You say, great, then I won't bring that equipment. My base rate is what it is to reserve me for your date. And yeah, that's what I say.
It just yells no discounts. That's all.
No,
kind of like what we were talking about earlier.
No discounts.
Where your thing says $350 value. People are like, is that a discount? No, it's not.
Yeah,
it's a gimmick.
Yeah.
And Eric,
anyways.
actually will say what I've done the past month since DJ Collective is rather than doing $4,000 with everything, I do $4,000 for just me and my main system, and then I upcharge for cocktail, I upcharge for uplighting, and I upcharge for ceremony sound system, and that's what gets me to my $5,000.
Right.
Okay.
And that's what I just started doing because I still lack the confidence to just say $5,000.
Hey, I understand.
For me and pair of speakers.
That's what I do. I have all of my guys. Well, they all have their base rate. I have my base rate, and that just gets you reception with audio.
Yeah,
and it'll give you a cocktail speaker. We throw that in because it's a backup speaker, anyways.
Yeah.
So
and people love when you throw things in too. So
exactly.
Yeah, and
so if they want any enhancements, that's ceremony lighting. That's where the price goes up to get me to my high dollars.
Yeah, totally. And by the way, I want to give a shout to a few people who are up here that I know. So I got Alex from California. Clive is here. We got Mojo.
Yeah.
We got Jeremy.
Oh, Mojo's on there? Let's go.
Yeah, dude, Mojo. Dude, that legend from
know.
SoCal. Crazy thing about Mojo, guys, is he lives in my home city of Simi Valley. And so I didn't catch on to that until last year. And so he and I met up last Christmas. He literally lives like 5 minutes from where my parents' home where I grew up, which was crazy because that guy's an amazing YouTuber, incredible DJ.
We had Mojo on the podcast, and it's probably one of the most underrated podcast we've ever done.
God, talk about a golden podcast.
Like, if anyone's listening to this podcast right now, go listen to Mojo's podcast because it's just full of gold. Like,
not that this one's not.
not that
That's
this
not
one's
what he
not,
meant.
but like it's
Yeah, I got it.
He's
incredible.
poorly worded. However,
Yes. No.
right.
I'm such a fan of Mojo. Hopefully you're still on, man.
God, I fucking love
he and I,
Mojo.
yeah, he's
Fuck.
on. He's on. He and I met up at a Wedding MBA last year. Which, by the way, Wedding MBA guys, I did not. I thought that was
It was
not
whack.
a good show.
It was
whack.
fucking whack
So-
this year.
so-
And
so-
I also saw Mojo, and he was so nice to me, and I was like, Mojo, I fucking love you. Yes, I agree.
so last year, 2021, guys, Mojo and I basically hung out a lot, and we were swapping ideas, and he showed me his really cool marketing portfolio, his that he sends. Now I adopted it. Like he's such a stud, and he's doing amazing things.
Anyways.
So, yeah. Anyways,
How do you
what
handle
were we
your
talking about?
–
consultations?
yeah, how does a consultation
yeah,
work? How does
yeah,
that
so-
process start?
So
Before.
great. So consultation. How's the process? So my booking manager Emily will send them my Calendly, and they'll say, "Hey, please schedule a call with Cooper." They schedule a call. I've got Calendly, guys. Calendly is the best $10 a month.
I will
to spend.
ask.
Holy
I will
cow.
ask. What if they don't? Does she poke about it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. She will
Okay.
say, "Hey, just a reminder. Our CRM, just like I'm sure your CRM does too, like
Yeah,
it
it's
will
auto
remind
reminder.
us." Yeah. And what's cool is a big thing for anyone who's wanting to do or to have a booking manager is in your Gmail or your mail, you can actually create what are called tags. So like when inquiries come in, the title of the email is always like new inquiry or whatever.
Yeah.
So I create a tag that says if the title says new inquiry, tag it with Emily's name. And so we have a ton of emails that if it ever comes, Emily's name's tagged to it. It makes life so much easier.
Yep.
And then she will take her name off of it once she takes care of it.
Yep.
Once she responds. So that's been great. So they book a call. Calendly's all automated to text them to remind them. A huge thing is that I give them 4 links. Yeah, dude, I'm passionate, Eric.
I love it. I love it.
I-
I'm with you.
is they need to watch my videos on Vimeo. They need to read my reviews. They need to check out my Instagram. Or I guess that's 3 things. My website is the 4th one, but usually they already have. They have to do those things before we get on a call, and it's like drilled into them that you have to do that.
How do you
when I
go
get-
about drilling that? Like, what does that look like?
It's in all the reminders, and yeah, it's in all the automated email reminders. And when they schedule an appointment, besides like the date and their phone number and email, it says, "Will you be certain to check out Cooper's this, and this?" And then they have to click yes. And so that's like a super simple thing to do too.
And that's in your Calendly meeting.
Calendly, uh-huh.
Well, like when they're setting it, it's one of the
Setting it up.
questions.
Yes.
I got it. I follow.
They're committing to it. And then another question is, will the decision maker be on with you? So if you're not the financial decision maker, I need that person on. And I've had phone calls where it was just the bride and her mom and dad are paying for it. And so I said, hey, let's reschedule and have them come on because I want them to understand the value they're getting. Because I've learned if I can make a bride or groom super excited, but they're not the ones paying, then they go to their dad and ask him for all this money.
And then it's irrelevant.
And they're like to play music.
Right.
Like that's how much. So jumping into the actual call, Eric. So when we get on the call, I'm small chatting. I'm trying to break the ice right away. Like the soonest I can break them out of their shell and make them feel totally comfortable, the better. And then right after we have some small talk, I lead the conversation. So then they know I'm organized. I know what I'm doing. Because if I can't lead that phone call in a really tactful way, why in the world would I be able to manage 150 people at their wedding and lead them in a tactful way?
What
right?
happens when you have that bride that flips the script on you, basically? Because we do the same. I'm like, you lead the phone call to the salesperson. Like that's just all there is to it. But you always get those brides that are like, well, wait, what you're saying, here's what I have to say. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it just goes in the wrong direction. You know what I mean? It's like, here's a list of random questions that you were about to answer if I just shut the fuck up. But what happens when that happens? Do you say like, shut the fuck up? Like, what do you say? Like, you get
not in those words, but
in the polite way.
So I will say if you, right after that small talk, if you tell them what we're going to talk about, I literally don't have that problem very often at all, because they know Cooper is leading this call.
Yep.
And if they do start asking me questions, I'll say, hey, Samantha, thank you so much. We're going to talk about that in just a minute, but I want us to first understand like the framework of what we're talking about. So hold on for just a minute.
Like,
if that's
thank
okay.
you so much for thinking that you were better than me. However, I just wanted to let you know that there's a reason I charge what I charge. So we'll get there.
Exactly.
I'm just listening. My mind's turning right now.
So now
Smart,
let me
right?
push on. Let me push on. So now what I say, hey Samantha, in this call, and Samantha's just the name that came to mind. We are first going to talk about pricing. Sorry, let me back up real quick. The first thing I always say is I want to learn about you guys, and I also want to tell you about my background. Then we're going to jump right into pricing. We're going to talk numbers. If it makes sense to keep talking, which you'll decide and you'll tell me, then we're going to talk more about the experience I'm going to create at your wedding. We're then going to talk about my amazing music planning app. We're then going to talk about the process that I go through to create a musically enhanced experience at your wedding. And by the end of this call, my goal is that you are so excited and stoked, and that all the stress just melts off of you because of everything we've talked about.
Yep.
Does that sound good to you, Samantha? Yeah, Cooper, for sure.
Yeah.
And then I ask them how they met, which we all do. And then I flip the script. I tell them about my journey into the DJ. Oh, dude, it's a great
only
thing.
you do that.
But
you're $5,000, so we don't do. Yeah, well, you don't get that question for $1,500. Fuck you.
So then after we get to know each other, I ask this question, guys, and it's a money question. I say, hey, before we jump in,
how much money do you have?
What's your budget?
Exactly. No, guys, do not ask what your budget is, because that is a lame question.
Right.
I literally just had a
guys.
side story.
I used to ask that question, and it's like 3,000. Oh, I'm 2,900.
Oh,
That's
perfect. Weird.
You know, so before I tell them about me, guys, let me back up a bit. I asked them this one question. I said, hey, have you been able to watch my reviews and videos on Instagram? And 9 times out of 10, they say yes. And then I ask them, I say, just so I understand what you value most, what stood out to you? That's the question I ask.
Right.
And then they tell me what they love about
Right.
me.
It reassures their own decision and out loud in front of you. Yep.
Yeah. And so they tell me what they liked about what they saw, which allows me to focus on those things throughout the rest of the conversation. So after that, we talk pricing. We say, hey guys, Samantha, just so you know, my pricing starts at $4,000, typically around $5,000 though, with everything in it. With that said, does it make sense to keep talking? And if it doesn't, it's totally okay. And then I wait.
Right.
And they say, and then 8 times out of 10, they say yes.
Right.
The other 2 times, they say no. I'm like, okay, no problem. Let me help refer you to another DJ. What is your budget?
Right.
And then they tell me their budget, and then I'll refer. There's so many great DJs here in Utah. I refer people all the time.
And also, a pro tip: if you're not getting 20 to 30% no's, your price is too low. That's just like the golden rule. If you're if you're getting 100% yeses, you're fucking up. Like, you need to raise your prices because you need to hear no.
The side caveat to that is if the people on the consultations are screened prior.
What?
Your no's need to come after they see the price. If you already give them prices up front, you probably have a higher rate on consultation calls after that.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know, dude. Hey, whatever.
Well, I remember Joe Bond saying, hey, like, let me show you how I book 90% or like 96% of people who inquire. And so I remember like a couple years ago, like buying his thing because, you know, he's awesome and sells everything that
Joe's
he wants.
A noob. He doesn't know shit.
Yeah. And basically what he did is he sent people his pricing. So of course, when they get on the call, they already know that's great. I don't do that. So hats off to him and those who do that.
Different ball game. I can't even believe he gets away with that with his price point in our area. But you're not wrong.
It's because he's Joe Bond.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, dude. That
literally,
guy's
everyone knows.
He's 30
who he
years
is.
deep in the business. You know, I mean, and whatever. Anyways.
You literally ask just about anyone in Raleigh, and they know who Joe Bond is.
Yeah, I mean, I know.
Which is
Greensboro too. Like,
I'm saying other than DJs, like normal people.
He's on a roll. Back to you.
Yeah.
So, Rick is over here taking notes. I saw him. So,
I did.
So what you're saying is gold.
So guys, Clive just asked in the thing if I share my pricing. Clive, I used to like a year ago, but now that I charge like well over double or like almost triple like the normal market rate, I feel like I have to make this emotional connection with people. And so And so something that Krieger, if you guys know Krieger, he's a DJ now out of Florida. He's the one, dude. That guy's awesome, awesome guy. And he's the one who a couple months ago we were on a Zoom call, and I was just picking his brain, sharing ideas too. And he was like, Cooper, he's like, you don't tell them your price at the beginning of the call. And I'm like, no. I'm like, I wait for 30 minutes and I drop it at the very end.
No.
And so he's the reason. Yeah, that was wrong, Rick. I did that for years and it worked. But now what I do as of 5 months ago is now we do a short little intro for 5-10 minutes max. I talk pricing up front.
Yeah.
And what's so cool about that is the next 20 minutes, it's so chill. There's no surprises.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't work for them, then we end the call and I've got 20 minutes back of my day.
Yep.
So Clive, that's why I don't give my pricing is I'm willing to give 5-10 minutes of my time on a Zoom call just to have the opportunity, because these people are already at a really nice venue. So I know they've got money.
I do want to ask.
So yeah.
Okay.
I want to ask.
There is a little bit of pre-screening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the
mentioned
venue,
that right. What happens when, and there's no way you haven't dealt with this, when a bride is like, what is your price prior to the phone call? It's like, well, what is your pricing?
Yes. So what I've done now, and Emily does this now, is we say exactly what it is. Cooper's prices start at $4,000. And the reason why is because after 13 years of grinding, guys, and building and improving my talents and marketing, I'm finally at a place where next year I'm hoping to book 50 weddings. I don't want to do 60 whatever again.
Yeah,
that's too much.
Number.
Too much.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping to book 50. I'm already at 25. I'm halfway booked for next year.
Yep.
So if someone asks for pricing before getting on the call, Emily will tell them, and if they're done and they don't want to talk to me,
right. Well, if identify as a price
confident,
shopper.
I'm confident I'm going to book 25 more. Like I'm finally at this point where I have so many referrals from wedding planners and vendors that I finally have this confidence that
well, that's what it requires. You know, I mean, obviously, let's say you get not a cold lead, but just someone who, I don't know if you advertise on the Not in Wedding Wire, but like some shit like that. If they just click on, Cooper, they're probably not caring as much about the experience. You know what I mean? And if they are, then okay, you got 1 in a million. But either way, it requires those planner relationships for what you're talking about. You know, that type of price point.
People will talk you up, right?
Unless I'm wrong. I could be wrong, but that's the way I feel about it.
90. You're like 90%.
Yeah.
There's like a 10% window for other.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then Mike asked a question. He says, what marketing method is the most effective for you? But I guess my answer to that would be, my goal is to get people stoked on this phone call. And what's cool is I know I'm effective in it because at the end of the call, I'll say, hey, how do you feel? And so many times, not every time, because not all my clients not all people I talk to are ideal clients, and I don't always rock my sales calls. But a majority of the time, they're like, wow, like I am so excited. Mm-hmm. I was stressed before this call thinking about the wedding, but seeing your templates and seeing how you do things, I am excited. Yeah. And so that's probably my biggest marketing strategy is I want to come off our 20-30 minute call and I want you to have an extreme amount of confidence in me. And that's my goal. And not only confidence, I want you to realize how fun I was and how energetic I was. And if you want that at your wedding, you just saw it on the sales call.
So another question I want to ask before, because we're getting close to the end, and this is great.
That's how you know it's been a good
podcast. I know. Cooper,
you're
killing it.
I can go longer if we need to. I can go longer.
Maybe a couple minutes, but either way. So from, let's say, 2 thumbs up, you're great, you're hired, right? From that point until the wedding date, what does that look like for you?
Yeah. Great question. So I only accept cash and Bitcoin and current cryptocurrency.
You accept Bitcoin?
You're
fucking kidding. I was like, you're done. Everything I just said, you're fucking done. Get off of here.
He's fucking with me right now. Come on.
All right, I'm glad you like that. So after that, I send my own quotes, whereas Emily will send Chase's quotes because Chase doesn't have access to our CRM. So I build my own quotes. Here's something else gold that I do, and I will send videos on my phone, like everyone puts their phone number when they inquire, and I'll say, hey Samantha, I just sent you the quote. It was so awesome talking with you and Daniel today. Let me know if you have any questions. See ya. Boom. I send them a little video, They just got the quote an hour after the call, and they got a video from their DJ to show their mom and dad or to show the person. And now there's the connection between the decision makers and me because they saw this little 20-second video.
Right.
And
where did you learn that? Or did you start doing it yourself? Because I learned that a while ago, like years ago. I saw someone doing that and on like a course sales and everything. I was like,
whatever.
That'd be great if I had time.
I want to hear this. I want to hear this role because I'm not even talking about just the contracting process. I
That's
want to know about the entire process.
Okay. So that's what I do. I only hold the date for 3 days. It's a courtesy date hold. Hey, Samantha, I want you to be able to talk to your fiance. I wish you could have made the call. I'm gonna give you 3 days. Is that enough? Yes, Cooper, that's enough. We get automated emails that send the day of from Emily saying, hi, reminder that your quote expires tonight. It really does expire, and 3 days is more than enough. More than enough. Like I used to do 2 weeks and then I did a week. 3 days is totally fine. Once they book, then there are tasks created in Tave where Emily sends them a kickoff email that's written by me. And then in that email, it even says, hey, if you refer a friend, and they book, I'll give $250 off of your package, which no one's actually done, but I'm trying it, see if it works. From that point on, it basically lays out my process and it tells them that I'm going to really start engaging with them about 2 months before the wedding. So take it easy. Yeah. And there's an email sent a year before, 6 months before, 3 months before, basically it's a year out and then 6 months. And then one email every single month starting at 6 months. Yep. And then at the 6 week mark is when Emily will reach out and a task is created for her to do this. That way she can double check if they've already created a meeting or not. And then she sends them my Calendly. In that Calendly, it says the Vibo app must be completed 90% of the way before our call. And what's cool about that is we'll check the day before. And if they don't have it 90% completed, I will send a message. It's the same message every time. Hey, I noticed that the app isn't completed yet. Would you like to reschedule so you have more time? And that one question right there, people will spend an hour that night just like cranking it out. Yep. So my process, Eric, from that point, my creative process, I'd say, really comes in when we start having that meeting. And in that meeting, I ask them questions like, are there any movies or TV programs or I don't ask video games, but sometimes I'll find out video games that they love. A client that I just talked to last week, they love this one video game, like both the bride and groom. And I told them, I said, how cool would it be if for cocktail hour, what if I find some really classy instrumentals of the songs in that video game? And guys, they were blown away. They were like, what? And I was like, yeah, like it's a really popular video game. I'm certain there are some beautiful renditions out there. And their minds were blown. And so during that creative planning meeting that happens 3 to 4 weeks before, we go through the whole Vibo app, but I'm also trying to share ideas with them, get them excited. And my whole goal is to see how can I craft a unique experience, because I don't want the music being played that night to be the same music I played the week earlier.
Yeah. So automated emails in a nutshell, whatever the time frame you said, you have a planning meeting. How far out do you think that one was that you just explained?
3 to 4 weeks.
3 to 4 weeks
before. Yeah. And we don't do it before that because I forget. Like I tell them, hey, I want to be fresh in my hand or fresh in my head.
Well, 3 to 4 weeks, I feel like is actually kind of far from the date, in my opinion.
I totally agree.
Because you have a month. Well, if you're doing 50 a year, that's one a week, roughly. We'll just call it one a week, right?
Yeah.
You have 3 weddings until the wedding you just did the planning meeting for.
As long as he can balance that in his head, he's good.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. So anyways, so you have a planning meeting about a month prior. Do you have any more meetings with that couple?
Honestly, I've wanted to. Oh, by the way, I have check-ins. I don't have any more meetings. I want to, but I don't have the time right now, and I'm trying to free up more time so I can, because if I'm charging these premium rates, I feel like I've got to just be really hands-on. But
my questions, by the way, are because you're charging such a premium rate. That's why I'm curious.
He's trying to see the differences.
Totally. So, yeah, I see what you're saying. So I want to, but I don't. An email goes out 5 days before the automated as well. It looks like it's not automated though. And it reminds them their Vibo app is about to close. So please, check for any other things you want to change. And then this has been a really gold email for me that I think everyone should do. The day before the wedding at 9:34 a.m., I have an email. It's one sentence.
9:34.
And it says, "Hey, Samantha and David, I'm super stoked for tomorrow. See you soon."
Yep.
And that one email, guys, has been amazing because I've seen couples who will text me before I did this. I've seen couples who will text me the morning of, say, "Hey, Cooper, like, we'll see you today." And I know that they're texting me because they haven't heard from me in a week.
Yep.
And I just want to make sure. So having that one email the day before, guys, has
Shuts
been...
those motherfuckers up. Hell
yes.
yes.
It makes them way more confident.
Yep.
So anyways, Eric, I think the biggest difference of why I think what I'm charging is totally worth what I'm doing is because when the day of comes, I'm doing so much more than just playing music, and the wedding planners see that. The bride and groom totally see that. I do some really cool surprises at weddings, some really cool, unique things, and honestly, I know I've done a good job. I know I've done a really good job really creating an awesome atmosphere when I do the grand entrance and people will like chant my name, DJ Cooper, like from across the corner. And I'm like, wow, like this is cool because they've already seen the cool ambiance that I've created and the emceeing that I've done and the way that I've led the ceremony, and I've already gained people's trust. And so it's kind of hard to describe, but like that's the type of level of wedding I'm trying to create, and I do create.
Ooh, I love the ending. I do.
Honestly,
create.
so I will like from a bottom feeders aspect, no, because I mean we're not literally. That's a joke, but there actually aren't that many differences. I mean, there are. So there are differences in your personal touches. Like, I mean, you are meeting with the clients. That's not what we do, but as for like how much time is invested, it's actually not all that different, which is awesome from you pulling those numbers. I mean, all right. You throw the fucking noise in there. So, but the thing is, Cooper, let's say it goes from 1,500 to $5,000. Let's say $2,000 to $5,000, so 2.5.
So you're trying to say
2.5 times.
the
But do you think
okay.
that Cooper invests 2.5 times the time frame?
Yes.
No.
No.
Hold on.
Fuck no.
Hold on.
I
No,
agree with you.
I'm saying compared to your guys, yes.
We make a 30-minute phone call.
Yes.
That's all he does.
Yeah. So no.
No, he's got the initial. He's got a million initial.
The initial conversation. Yes.
So I've got an hour to an hour and a half phone call that I do with them a month before, and then I would say a cookie cutter wedding where they really don't have very many requests. It takes me probably 3 hours to prepare all the music. If they're pretty detailed, it probably takes me anywhere from 5 to 7 hours.
Why does it take you that long?
See, I'm telling you,
because I'm going through and I'm finding the best remix of that Chili Pepper song, or sorry, the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Yeah, I'm trying to find that best remix, a redrum, because they love it, and that song is not danceable. So I'm like looking at all my all my DJ pools trying to find things.
I'm telling you, he's
and then you think about it, a wedding I did 3 weeks ago, this was a unique bride, guys. She had 3 dress changes. She walked out to her ceremony from a song from The Mandalorian.
Hey, we've done those. Yes.
Okay. So basically that one was such a unique wedding because all the background music for cocktail and dinner was all the super cool Disney music that I found on Spotify. I curated that like by hand, like every song, or not every song. Yeah, mostly. I would copy a few songs. And then get this, guys. I was at the venue and they were about to bring out all the plates of food. And I had this idea that I saw Randy Bartlett do 4 years ago on a DVD I bought of his.
I thought he retired way before that.
Yeah. Well, he's still selling his DVD. Okay. So this is what I did, guys. And I can't tell you how many compliments I got from this. I said, ladies and gentlemen, and by the way, I got the catering staff all lined up. I talked to the head banquet manager. She was on board. She loved the idea. They were ready in the hallway. I could see them.
I think I did this at a wedding too.
And I said, ladies and gentlemen, we're super excited to be celebrating with Samantha and Daniel tonight. Samantha and Daniel. Tonight, we hope you can be our guest.
Yep.
And the second I said that, I played the Disney song. Right. Be our guest. Be our guest. Put our service to the test.
I just did this at a wedding. The exact same thing.
Servers came out right when I did that, Rick, and you've seen this reaction. Yep. The whole room gave a round of applause.
I didn't get that.
How cool that was.
Yes.
A round of applause, okay? And they came out. It was so dope. About 20 minutes later, I went in to check in with the bride and groom because about 3 or 4 times throughout the wedding, I check in and say, "Hey, is there anything I can do for you?" And the groom was like, "Cooper, did we tell you to do that?" And I'm like, "No." And the bride was like, "That was the most amazing thing ever."
Yeah.
And so you talk about charging what I'm charging.
Yep.
There are things like that that I'm trying to do so that people have this wow moment.
And I will say,
see the difference is
I will say, I wasn't trying to hate when I said that.
I
I was
get it.
actually trying to give you props by being able to charge X dollars and still have less footwork involved.
Yeah.
Like, he does have some.
I was not trying to hate in any capacity.
What I was more or less saying is he definitely has a crap load more time invested into each client in comparison to what we would be doing.
For sure. And he should. I mean, for that price point, you fucking should.
And that's just
definitely. You know, I mean, you should have the
it's
gear,
funny though,
and he does.
See, the Be Your Guest was your idea for that one. For mine, it was the bride's idea. And literally, she got up and like danced around the room to it.
Dude,
it was
cool.
hilarious.
That's cool.
But yeah, I mean, it was awesome.
I wish I would have been more prepared for that one. It was the day after Thanksgiving. Oh, guys, here's the story. Okay, it was the day after Thanksgiving, and I had that idea about 20 minutes before the catering staff came out.
Oh,
if you guys want to talk about, so that was like on the fly idea.
There's no way you had that song on your decks.
I totally did. Yeah, totally.
You had it in your computer? You had it in your computer?
He's a fucking Disney guy. You can tell. Just look at him.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
I didn't have that shit.
I've got 13 years, guys. When I started my music library, just like all of us back in the day, like, you know, back in late 2000s.
Oh, you had the RIP version is what you're saying.
I had a friend who had every single song you could think of, and he gave me this hard drive of like 7,000 songs.
I haven't even been DJing for 13 years myself.
Yeah. Okay. So you're
teen.
Teen.
Yep.
Rick knows. So,
I'm at teen.
So anyways, guys, here's a crazy story that some of you can relate to. So I was in Boise for Thanksgiving, which is where my family or my wife's family's from. And the wedding was in Park City, which is about an hour from where I live. So I drove home on Black Friday morning, super early in the morning, just in case I got a flat tire or whatever. I have a couple hours to fix things. And I'm at home. I got about an hour and a half to chill. And I opened my DJ laptop that I had brought with me to Boise to just do some last minute music prep. My laptop's not in my backpack. My DJ laptop is in Boise at my in-laws' house. And the wedding starts in 3.5 hours, and Boise's 6 hours away.
Thank God for Vibo.
Thank God for cell phones.
Guys, I had a panic. I did. I panicked. And then do you guys know who Daniel Linares is? Linares.
I do.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So he's a great DJ out of like New York. He was actually my business coach for most of this year, and he helped me learn like how to calm down in like really, really crazy situations. So I used his tools. I calmed down and I said, okay, what resources can I use? Can I call their DJs? How can I do this? And I have my MacBook that I've had for 6 months now, but I don't DJ on it at all. My PC is in there. Thank goodness I had my backup hard drive and my desk here at home. And so I basically transferred all my music over to my MacBook. I downloaded Serato. I had all 18,000 of my songs, but no playlist because it can't transfer from PC to Mac very well all. So I also downloaded Beatport, which by the way was garbage. It like most of the songs I searched for, it didn't even have, and so that was a good test. I'm not going to get that. That's so anyways, I go to this wedding, guys.
I've never heard that before. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
whatever.
I go to this wedding and I have all my music. I'm on a MacBook that I've never DJ'd on. It worked flawlessly. The only challenge was I live in my crates because my crates I've spent so much time working on, and so for the first time for 3 hours I had a DJ with no playlist, and it worked. So that was a very scary experience.
Been there.
Yeah, dude.
The amount of times, it was all in those early years, you know, like when you didn't know about like backing up your hard drive, and don't store all your music on an external hard drive because you'll run into issues where the crates aren't linking up and the files are lost and the connections are fucked up.
Yeah. Dude, so I learned, and the reason why that happened was because the night before I was downloading music onto my phone so I could listen to a bunch of new mixes on my 6-hour drive, and I forgot at 10 p.m. that night to put my laptop back in my backpack. That's what happened. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I've had DJs I don't remember exactly what happened, but not have a laptop at the gig, right? And it's showtime. They wound up DJing off of, I don't even fucking know, maybe Serato Pyro. It's an app.
I have that.
Yeah. I think that it's no longer a thing, but either way, it was that, or just maybe even Spotify, just direct volume fade through the app and pulled a 5-star review. Like, I know it's not ideal, but
you could, if you're resourceful and you know you can.
It is what it is. Like, what are you gonna? I mean, it's better than fucking being like, sorry, I can't do my best, so I'm not gonna do anything at all. Like, what the fuck, you know?
Yeah, it's true. Something else. And Rick, shut me up. I need to shut up. But one thing that's helped me a lot, guys, and this is totally different topic, but similar, is because I have so much going on running 2 businesses. I've got 2 daughters. I try to be a great husband. I've got so much going on that something that my coach taught me was this website called focusmate.io. Okay. And this has helped me double my efficiency, and it cost a whopping $5 a month. Okay. So what it is you sign up on their calendar for a 50-minute time slot that you want to focus on. It matches you with someone in the world who also wants to focus during that same time. And then through their platform, you hop on at that time. And for the first 60 seconds, you introduce yourself to the random person from Australia who you're now on with, which that happened today. And then I tell them my focus. Hey, I want to get these 3 things done. I want to get these 2 contracts sent. And then I also want to create this marketing material. And then the person on the other side says, Cooper, that's awesome. My focus is to grade a bunch of math papers because I'm a teacher. And then we mute ourselves. There's a timer that counts down for when our session ends, and we just go hard. And the psychology of having someone on the other end who's also working along with you, and you can see them, and then knowing that when that timer goes to 0, you have to unmute and tell them how you did. Hey, I got through the first 2 things. I'm halfway through the 3rd thing. I did get a little bit distracted, but I got off of it after a minute. How did you do? And then you ask them. And guys, I can't tell you how much more effective I've been because I have these people helping me to be focused. And it's called focusmate.io. It's changed the game for me. Best $5 ever.
You said it too fast. Focusmate.
Sorry. Focusmate.io. Yeah, actually, focusmate.com. Not .io. Yeah, Focusmate.
You're thinking about Vibo.
Thinking about
Vibo.io.
So anyways,
thanks.io.
Not
anymore.
And guys, I'll do music planning sessions where like I'll get on and I'll say, hey, I'm trying to plan the music for a wedding I'm DJing this weekend, and my goal is to get through like dinner and dancing. And what's awesome about that is if I get on Instagram or YouTube or something, I just know I have to be accountable, and so it helps bring me back, and it's made me so much more efficient. Yeah.
Well, that was a very unexpected route you just took that conversation.
How? What is it? 1 meeting? You said 1 meeting a day?
I sometimes do 1 a week. I sometimes do 10 a week. It just depends on the week. Do you have a limit? No. I'm just saying, no, you don't have a limit. No. For $5, you can do a free one where you get 3 free a week, which I did for like a week. And then I saw how much more effective I was. And I was like, dang.
$5 unlimited? I
was like, $5 unlimited. And I was like, I've gotten so much more done.
Fucking day. It's like every day you just do 1, 2.
Like I feel like I can confidently say I'm one of the most efficient DJ business owners because I have this tool and other tools to help me just crank through things.
I literally just said it, but I already forgot it because I'm fucking...
Focusmate.com.
Focusmate.
Focus, FOCUSMATE.com.
All right, I'm putting it down. I have another random, but it's called Blinkist, right? And it's self-help audiobooks, but built down. It takes like a 6-hour, 12-hour book, builds it down to 20 minutes.
I've heard about that.
Dude, I'm talking, man. And if you truly dig it, sure, buy the whole audiobook, listen to the whole thing. But man, I'm talking, this thing turned me into the... Just check it out. It's worth checking out. It's like $80 a year.
What's it called again?
Blinkist. Like blink your eyes, Blinkist.
Blink, so blink, IST.
Yep. And
I'll put that in the chat so I can remember and everyone else watching on YouTube. Can check us out
$80 a
too.
year. I'm telling you, it's a sarcastic price. You'll pull so much gold out of it. It's insane. They have thousands of self-help audiobooks, but it's broken down into Spark Notes, and it doesn't get boring, and you truly get the gold out of every single book in 20 minutes. It's nuts.
See, Eric, stuff like this I freaking love because yes, DJing is important, but I feel like a big reason for the success that I have had is because I run my business like a true business.
Yeah.
Like I can tell you every dollar that was spent last month, in what categories. I can tell you my close rate. I can tell you how much money I made this month or whatever. And like, I feel like if you really run your business like a true business, you will be leaps and bounds above all the other DJ businesses in your area.
Another thing is constantly being inspired. If you are just stoked to run a business, you're going to run the best business you can. You know what I mean? And because if you're fucking spinning your wheels and you're like, oh, blah, 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 you know what I mean? Then it's just not the same, But if you're stoked, you're going to be like, oh, what can I do to better myself? What can I do to better this?
And if you
constantly.
And if you struggle with that, get a coach.
Get a coach.
Yes, dude, guys, getting a coach is great. I don't know about you guys, but I've seen lots of DJs who love the actual DJing and aren't the business people.
I'm the total opposite. I'm actually the complete opposite of that. I don't hate DJing, but I don't really care. It's like whatever to me. But I love the business aspect.
I feel like there's way more DJs that love DJing than love business.
Yeah. I would say I feel like all three of us are in very similar realms of like we love the business aspect just as much. I feel like is that a correct statement for you guys?
Yeah.
So
yes.
Like I love the business side of things.
I still love getting in front of the decks and like making people's day and that shit. But on the back end, I love the fucking grind of the business.
Yeah.
And growing a business and new ventures and all that fun shit that comes with it.
And
creating
cool
stuff.
cars and shit.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, we're not there yet.
Guys, one of my favorite things doing is actually I love sales calls. Like I love having this what can be an awkward conversation and turning it into this experience that people are just like floored by because it was so amazing. And I get off a call and I'll like walk downstairs to my wife and I'm like, man, I freaking crushed that call. Like they don't have the budget for me, but I think they're gonna make the budget because it went that well. Like I love the sales aspect.
I guess I do that too, but like I still don't.
Hey, to each their own, man. But fuck yeah, I'm glad you're stoked on your.
My
business.
biggest high is when I do that like QuickBooks monthly report, and I'm going through and like finishing out the monthly report. I'm like yes, money. Dollars were spent here and here and there, and we need to go less here, more here, more. I don't know. I'm a big numbers person, so I love my QuickBooks.
Well, that's exciting. Cool. I'm glad you have brought so many gold nuggets. Like Rick said earlier, go watch the Mojo. Listen to this podcast. Fuck, this is dope. This is great. This is great. I mean, obviously
Mojo's
all the way
was good
through.
Too.
Yes. Complete this one, and then
I'm more
listen to the rest of our podcast.
I'm more creating the list right now of the most. When I say underrated, I mean like the underviewed. Like when you look at the podcast list,
this has been
and like
I get it.
This has been fucking great. This has honestly been super great. I took a note. I saw Rick taking notes. Hopefully, our listeners, whoever they maybe have been taking notes. This has been a fantastic podcast, full of golden information to bringing wherever you stand. Like I said, I charge a billionth of what Cooper charges. I've learned a lot. People who are charging what Cooper does, I'm sure, have learned a lot as well. You know what I mean? This is great.
And this is no knock to any other person we've on the podcast, but like there's so many podcasts where we're on and like I'm like, oh, we're only 30 minutes through. This one I'm on and we're like, we're 50 minutes already through this thing?
I know, we're 20 minutes
shit.
over. We're 20 minutes over right now, and I could keep going, but I'm not going to. I actually really am hungry, so I'm going to
he didn't eat yet, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anyways, Cooper, any last words?
You guys are awesome.
Where can people follow you? Where can people find you?
You can follow me on MySpace. Just kidding.
Shut up!
You can follow me on Instagram. You guys, I had the background on MySpace back in the day that had like the falling $100 bills because I thought it was so cool.
That
this like skinny, tall white kid.
Very cool. You're not wrong.
So you can follow me on Instagram at DJ Cooper Brown. That's COOPER Cooper Brown. That's the best place. I'm happy to chat with anyone too. I love talking about things like this. If anyone ever wants to chat, just reach out and I'd be happy to connect.
Yeah. And how many more other topics do you have on that list that we can talk about next time?
Dude,
you fucking asshole.
I love that you brought that up again. I've got a lot. So bring me on next time when you guys have someone no showing. All right.
Cooper definitely is on the roster for another podcast. Absolutely. I hope you guys enjoyed this as always. Follow Cooper on all of his sources. Subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below, like us. If you're listening to this on Spotify, make sure you are following us on our Spotify channel, and make sure you go to the YouTube channel so that way you can view our beautiful faces as well and see Erik's awesome designer glasses that he just purchased.
Designer Burberry, as a matter of fact.
He had to drop the name, but anyways, it was a fun time as always, Cooper, and I hope everyone got some amazing nuggets. I definitely took down some awesome notes. So anyways, guys, see you guys on the next one. We're taking a 2-week break for Christmas and New Year's, and we'll be back the second Tuesday after New Year's.
We're taking next week off, of course.
We're taking the 3rd off as well. We'll be back on the 10th with Kristen Wilson. So see you guys.
Awesome.
Kristen Wilson.
Thanks, guys. Merry Christmas.
What?
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
See, we take turns getting guests, and like we don't know who's getting the next one.
That's fantastic.
Anyways, see you guys back on the 10th for the next podcast. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and see you on the next one. Peace.